Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Monday. It's still morning time here in Cleveland, Ohio. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me this Monday. My name is Andrew Wilson. I'm the real estate broker over at Brickhouse Realty, and we are a full service real estate brokerage. We like to work with buyers, sellers, and definitely all of the real estate investors out there. So, if you don't know me, thank you for joining me today. So on Mondays, I like to come to you, bring you an update on the real estate market. I call it your Market Monday. Just like you watch the news for your update, maybe you watch to learn about some real estate stocks. I like to give some tips and information on what's going on in the real estate market. And so here we go. So I'm sorry, I'm just getting over a cold today. So excuse me if I kind of clear my throat as I'm going through this. So I want to talk about this surge in home prices. So in the real estate market, if you have been paying attention or you've been watching the news somewhere else, you know that values of homes are starting to or continue to increase across the country. So not just here in Cleveland, but across the country, home values are starting to surge. So people are wondering, like, what's going on? Why is this surge happening? And what it really boils down to is the level of inventory. There's low inventory in the market, so it's increasing the values. At a certain point, it's going to fall off like anything else. But as of right now, we're still seeing that increase. We do see this increase, these values increasing a little bit more in our suburban and more rural areas as opposed to the urban areas. So the urban areas are also seeing an increase in values as well, but it's focused in on that suburban and rural areas. Many experts are saying that is just due to the fact that the coronavirus, with it hitting and more people sheltering in place, that they have come to realize that they need a little bit more space in their homes. And so they tend to move out more in those suburban areas or those rural areas to get the extra square footage and still affordable pricing versus being in those urban areas. So what's happening is before, when we were seeing back in like 2007, 2006, where everyone was buying a home during that time. And so people are asking, well, is it kind of like that? And then what happened after that, we saw this bubble kind of hit where people started losing their homes. And this is much different than that time frame. And then one of the reasons why is because the underwriting guidelines are now a lot more strict than it was back before. So 2006, 2007, 2005, even lenders, they were doing no document loans. They were doing first and second loans on houses. Whereas now the underwriting is much more strict. There have much harder guidelines, and so people that are coming in are actually much stronger buyers than what we were seeing before. It's just the lack of inventory is causing people who want to buy. So even if people, because the guidelines are so strict, it's actually holding back a group of people who may potentially want to buy. And so if you think about that, if they were to remove some of those restrictions, we don't have enough inventory right now, but we really wouldn't have enough inventory if everyone who wanted to buy. So there is a record low interest rate as well. So we're seeing a lot more people buying because of that and refinancing as well. So home builders are starting to ramp up. When we were going through prior to all of this, builders were not building at the level to keep up with the demand. They are starting to ramp up. So as these builders start to ramp up and get moving, we will start to see the demand start to decrease over time. We're still many months out before this is going to happen. But if you are thinking about selling your home, I definitely recommend that you take a serious look at that. really set up a good time frame for yourself, because you want to be able to get the maximum amount of dollars out of that home sale. So now is the perfect time to do that. So don't wait until the first of the year. If possible, go ahead and do that still in 2020, when we are seeing the inventory so low, so you can get maximum dollars, and then you can put that money into your new project. So the biggest constraint is going to be the supply overall. And so the people that have an edge in all of this are going to be your cash buyers, and then anyone that's using a conventional loan. So when we think about a seller, they want to sell their home and they don't want any hiccups. They want to make sure they get to that finish line the best way as possible. So when offers come in, because they're seeing multiple offers on properties, they're going to look at the highest and best offer. And then what components does that make up to make it a good offer? So when we look at that, cash is always going to be king. They're going to look at those cash offers, because typically anyone that's paying cash, they can close very quickly on there. Then they're going to look at some conventional, because that is usually, if someone's going conventional, that means they have a really strong credit score, usually around 680 or higher, and maybe putting down more money, so they have more savings typically as well, maybe as high as 20% down on that house. And then they're going to look at your other loans like FHA, VA, and so on underneath that. And basically, when comparing apples to apples, what they're looking at is those contingencies in the contract. Did you write in any contingencies that could potentially make the deal fall apart? You need a certain amount of time for inspections. You want time to sell your other property. Whatever it is that you write in there, the seller wants to secure the deal that they believe is going to close without any hiccups, get them quickest to the finish line. So cash and conventional, and then everything else underneath that. So that is your update for my typical first-time home buyers or sellers, some information for you as well. Now I want to give some information on a question that I recently received on real estate investing. And that question is how to find private money for real estate investing. I'm going to take a few minutes and kind of talk about this for anyone that's thinking about investing in real estate and give you a tip. So there's a difference out there. You can get a loan from the bank. You can use credit card monies. You can do cash advances. You have a number of avenues where you can pull money to get into your investment project. Private money is different from hard money. Hard money lenders, those are definitely short-term loans, higher restrictions. Usually they're only going to give you a portion of the loan amount, and higher fees on there. Private money is usually still a shorter term loan, but it could be anyone could be a private money lender for you. That private lender could be a friend of yours that maybe has some extra cash sitting in a savings account or a retirement account, or has access to other people with lots of money who is looking to invest the money to make, a return on their investment. People really like that are thinking about investing, they really like focusing in on real estate, because real estate is a tangible item. And when they are going to give you money, most often they're going to put a lien on that property. So that makes them feel a lot more comfortable with the fact that they can put the lien on the property. In the event that you don't pay them, they can file for foreclosure on that property and take the property back. Now, nobody wants to go through the legal process or deal with any of that, but it's more secure for any lender that's out there. So private money is really just any individual that may have some money sitting in the bank. And so we oftentimes think of, who do I know that's rich, right? That we can get some money from. So we put this limiting belief on there that the person has to be rich in order to be able to lend you some money, when in fact they don't really have to be rich, right? They just need maybe a few $100,000 and willing to lend to you for this shorter period of time where they make money or profits off of that. So it could be a mom. Just think about many of our parents have retirement accounts where large chunks of money are sitting in those retirement accounts, not doing anything, not collecting high amounts of interest. It could be a friend. So I think we're just not digging deep enough when we think about who we can tap into to get some of those in private money from them. So some of the things that I want to talk about, give you a couple tips here that I wrote down that you can do is number one, when you're trying to look for this private money on how to find these folks. So tip number one is to make sure that you're talking about this goal that you have. You are putting it out there wherever you go, and you're talking to your friends, you're talking to your family about you having this goal of wanting to invest in real estate, but you need a lender, right? So when you start putting that out there, people may start hearing that, and then it may jog their memory of someone else they know that might be able to give you access to it. So number one, you want to make sure you're putting it out there, putting it out in the atmosphere so it can find its way back to you. So number two, you want to hang in places where real estate investors go. So if you go to like meetups or investment clubs, there's oftentimes people there that also invest in real estate, or they may be a lender and you just don't even know, private money lender. So they may also invest in real estate themselves and looking for additional opportunities for growth. So you want to make sure that you're going to those places where other investors are going to be, having those conversations, and again, telling them that you're looking for private money because you want to invest in real estate. And then number three, you want to find the deal, right? So you need to go ahead and find the deal that you're looking for and start writing a proposal. What does that deal look like? So you're going out into the marketplace, you're finding what that deal looks like. How much would the after repair value be on there? How much could you get the property for? How much are the renovation costs going to be on the project? And start sketching that out so you even know how much money you need to be asking for people from people to get this deal done. So have that in place. You want to go out, you want to find that deal. Where are you going to be investing at? It's kind of like almost like having a business plan to a certain degree of just understanding, what you're looking for, what that perfect deal looks like for you. How much of a return are you looking to make? Do you personally want to make on that deal? So writing that out is part of the necessary steps through all of this. And then number four, once you have that plan in place, you want to go ahead and pitch that to a lender. I want to buy the property over on 123 Main Street. The price of that property is $30,000. It's going to cost, $40,000 for the full renovation on it. Give a breakdown of what those renovations are: new roof, new driveway, new furnace, electrical, all those items on there. And then we're going to sell this property for X amount of dollars. So pitching that to the lender, and then what is the lender going to get out of it? Because that's the main question that they're going to have. They're going to want to know, what do they get out of this deal? So then you want to make sure you highlight that piece of it and then pitch that to your lender. And then lastly, the only thing that I want to say about that is when you decide to finally go ahead and pitch that, it may take multiple attempts to different people to pitch your plan to. So do not get discouraged when you pitch that and somebody either A, does not respond, or they do not return, or they decline the offer on there. So you want to just keep moving forward, keep pitching what you're looking to do, keep having those conversations, keep looking for those opportunities out there. So that is my my Monday market update for you for real estate. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, I'll stay on for a couple more seconds. Feel free to type those questions in the chat box. But if this is your first time joining me, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please make sure you like or subscribe to my channel. I like to provide lots of tips on the real estate market and want to help you guys get going. So if you're thinking about investing in real estate, not quite sure how to get there, want to ask some questions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. Again, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I am always available. If you want to schedule a 15-minute consultation, I do offer a free 15-minute consultation for you guys. We like to set the groundwork of what you're trying to do. Oftentimes, people don't necessarily know how to get started. Making my move to invest. Okay, let's get going. You just have to kind of write that plan. This is going to be your start time. I think you just started, you just joined in. One of the things I was talking about is private money on this, of kind of like where to find it. One of the things I'll share with you guys, I didn't share when I was doing this, a few years back or very early on when I really started invested. One of the avenues that I found to find money or find funding for a deal was actually on Craigslist. I met a gentleman on Craigslist and just started having a conversation. The guy was actually selling a property on Craigslist, and so I happened to be calling about the property that he was selling. And so we just had a deeper conversation, and then he turned out to be a lender. And so we built a relationship. He came to town. I met him. This was several years ago, but we built a relationship and, still work with this individual today. And that was just off of Craigslist. So usually there is money around us. It just takes multiple attempts, continued conversations around what we want to do. And sometimes it may be someone that we know. Yep. It may be someone that we know that could actually be our lender, our private lender for us, or have access. A lot of times people hold information into themselves because you haven't shown that you're serious about it, right? So just think about, and not saying that you're not serious, but you haven't really put out there like, yes, this is what I'm doing. I'm going full speed ahead. So they hold back that information. They hold back all of the resources. You have to build, that relationship with them for them to release all of that information to you. Because as people, we want to protect our own names, right? We don't want to refer you to someone and then things don't work out right, and then you look like the bad guy because you referred this person. You always see that, like when you're sending someone for a potential job, you don't want to share that information. There's lenders out there that work with individuals that are overseas. I won't say that it's difficult. Because it's all challenging just trying to find just funding. Challenging, it takes a conscious effort. So you have to start just putting that out there. This is what I'm looking to do. So there's lenders out there that will work with people that are from overseas. Definitely private money is going to be one of the best ways to do that. Because you might even have someone that you can ask that has a savings account that they're just sitting on the money. They're not doing much with. So in the Cleveland market, that's why a lot of investors like the Cleveland market, because it's a lower entry point. If you try to go to, New Jersey or New York here, you need almost a $500,000 to get into that market, 200, 300, $400,000 to get into that market to be able to invest. People like the Cleveland market because it's a lot lower entry point. You can find houses for $20,000, $30,000. In some cases, put another $20,000 or $30,000 into it. And then, so now you're just saying you need like $60,000 to be all in for a project. And then you turn around and sell that project for maybe like $100,000, $120,000. So that's a little easier, just identifying the market that you're going to invest in that will be a lower price point initially, like this Cleveland market. And then, and from there, just building out that plan, and then just start talking to people, for that private money, because that might be the quicker route. Because there are lenders for foreign investors, but they're going to charge a premium for it. So definitely available opportunities, but if possible, try to find some cheaper funding. So thank you for those questions. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you for joining me today. So if you guys have, I don't see any other questions here. So, but just want to say thank you for joining me today. Oh, let me share one thing with you. I am going to be speaking. It's called the Keys to Black Wealth Summit. And some entertainers are going to be there. David Banner, 2 Chainz, if you're familiar with 2 Chainz, and a laundry list of other speakers. I'm talking about real estate investing specifically. They are doing a portion of, or sending a few tickets in person. It's broadcasting out of Atlanta, but it is virtual, and tickets are $30. I'm going to put a link at the end of this. Please, please, please support $30 tickets. Keys to Black Wealth, providing a lot of great information to you guys. So please, join us for that. It's a 2-day event. So that's $30, 2 days event, October 17th and 18th. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.